No one cares about diversity. If you deny this fact, you haven't been paying attention. In fact, chances are that if you believe in so-called diversity, you're a hypocrite. Like everyone else, you have no idea what diversity actually means. Let me explain. The company you work for that sends out newsletters to staff and has meetings about inclusion and diversity, that company, your company, doesn't really give a fuck about diversity in thought, diversity in opinion, diversity in personality, or diversity in character. If you're a single white man with no disabilities, your company doesn't care about any of your personal shortfalls, struggles, or hardships. Unless you belong to a specific and easily identifiable ethnic, sexual, or religious group, any diverse opinion, character trait, or struggle you have doesn't matter. They don't care. The diversity being peddled by pathetic virtue signalers in our society is a farce. Corporations are trying to expand their market base, while yappy Karens and liberals only care about making themselves look virtuous. None of them care about or know what real diversity is. Real diversity and inclusion is about accepting everyone's negative but harmless individual characteristics, regardless of their ethnicity or sexual orientation. For example, if you're a straight white male who happens to have a nervous tic that makes you look awkward and weird and makes it difficult for you to get laid, no one really cares. If that nervous tic happens to freak out or make your coworkers feel uncomfortable, no one cares, and you could easily be fired without cause because of it. If you don't belong to any specific sexual orientation or ethnic group, you can and will be excluded, ridiculed, shunned, and shamed for being too tall, being too short, being too quiet, being too loud, being too weird, being too awkward, being too skinny, being too fat, being too slow, being too fast, being too ugly, being too pretty, breathing too heavy, chewing too loud, for dressing weird. You name it. If you don't fit whatever specific social norm in your community or workplace, you won't have the same protections as a member of a specially identified sexual or ethnic group. If you're an awkward heterosexual dork with good intentions, but with a personality and physical features that might not be optimal, you're shit out of luck. Nobody cares about your diverse traits or about including you. Worse yet, if you express an opinion that's contrary to what the majority in your community or workplace believe, they will judge you and modify how they treat you. Once they know that your beliefs are weird, radical, or fringe, they will develop a conscious bias about you. That will inevitably alter their interactions with you. The truth is, nobody cares about real diversity in thought, opinion, or character. They only care about whatever idea will propel them and their companies to the top of the food chain. In order to be diverse in our modern culture, you need to conform to a certain ideal or belong to a certain group. There's no real tolerance for diverse characteristics that fall outside specific boundaries. That sure doesn't sound like diversity, does it? All of this makes diversity an absolute farce. For this reason, next time you hear your employer or a friend talk about diversity and inclusion, you should pull out a dictionary and give them a lesson. More importantly, if you think diversity should only apply to people based on their ethnicity and sexual orientation, you should take a long, hard look in the mirror. You are a part of the problem.